When the world shut down in 2020, it was actually a good thing at first for many of our relationships because all of a sudden we had more time for those closest to us. But it wasn't long, and many people started realizing that the extra time for relationships actually created a new and unusual stress on relationships as well. After all, we weren't used to spending this much time with key people in our lives. Many people struggled to manage that sudden closeness of their relationships. So why did this happen? What was the problem? Here's my theory about it. Many people were actually exercising or attempting to exercise a social intelligence that they previously rarely created the time for in relationships. And really, most people had very little competence for it. So what if I told you that I could give you some insight about a subject called social intelligence that could help you avoid this issue in the future, to help you improve any relationship in your life? Stay tuned. Hey there, I'm Ryan Franklin, and I would love for you to join me every week as we explore leadership topics that'll help you get the clarity needed to move your organization forward. Just hit the subscribe button and the bell to get notified as soon as I post a new session. And before we get started, I do want to mention that I have a great new product called the Christian Leader Blueprint. It's a solid model for leadership development. And if you've been looking for something that can help you or your team members develop in leadership, look no further than the Christian Leader Blueprint. And I want to give it away to you as my gift. Just go to christianleadermadesimple.com and you can download it for free today. And without any further delay, let's get to our session. In the past few weeks, we've covered some details on emotional intelligence, and today I just want to introduce to you social intelligence, which is actually a subtopic of emotional intelligence. And to define it in a simple way, social intelligence is your ability to understand and manage your interactions with the feelings and thoughts and behaviors of others. Social intelligence is knowing when and how to talk or listen. It involves your body language and the timing of your interactions. Jesus exampled of social intelligence in such a masterful way with the woman at the well in John chapter 4. He knew everything about this woman, yet he didn't just immediately expose that. And he didn't even allow himself to be offended by this woman's lack of knowledge of who he was. He first keyed into the hurt and the pain in her life with empathy. He approached her in a way that would open her heart up rather than create an uncomfortable wall between them. And so he understood her first, and then he effectively managed his own reactions of her feelings and thoughts and behaviors. And then he responded appropriately. And really, this was social intelligence at its best. And so you may ask, why does all of this matter? Well, in a simplistic response, it matters because it helps you as a leader or a father or a mother or spouse, friend, whatever. It matters because it helps you build more productive relationships. And here's the bottom line. As a leader, you must form relationships and inspire people to get involved with the vision that the Lord has given you. That's leadership. And when you learn to read other people's emotions and facial expressions and learn what motivates them, then there's no doubt that your influence and effectiveness is going to grow. And when you have a greater social intelligence, you understand people better, you attune to people better, you're more empathetic, you're more discerning, you have a much greater ability to motivate people to cooperate with you and each other. And you can key into someone's uncomfortableness in a social setting and help the person sort of relax. And you can provide acceptance and affirmation and encouragement in ways that are healing and life-giving to relationships. That's the power of social intelligence. And today, I want to give you a few key elements of social intelligence, and I believe that this will help you gain greater influence with people in the long run. One of the first things to learn is how to understand what makes other people tick, to be a student of people. What are they saying? What are they not saying? How are they behaving? What emotion are you seeing and why? What is motivating them to do the things that they're doing or say the things that they're saying? Try to push against your desire to be defensive and try to understand why they would be acting the way that they are or saying those things. It could be as simple as they aren't feeling accepted by you. Or maybe they just have a misunderstanding of what's actually going on. Could be a ton of things, but if you don't become a student of the other person, it's not likely that you'll ever know what's really going on the inside of them. And one of the biggest aspects of this, and in social intelligence as a whole, is learning to effectively listen. Now you may say, Ryan, really? I know how to listen to people. And I'm going to push back on you here just a little bit and say, most people are not great listeners. And this could literally change your life. It could change your marriage, interaction with your kids, the people that you lead, whoever you come in contact with. It can change your relationship. A good listener is going to be what is known as an active listener. And if you've already decided that you think you know what the person is going to say before they even fully say it, guess what? First, there's a good chance you're wrong. Second, the other person is going to know immediately that you've tuned them out. And guess what? Guess what they're going to do when you speak? They're going to tune you out. Trust me. It happens every time because you tuning someone else out is the equivalent of slapping someone in the face. And they aren't going to listen to someone that just slapped them in the face. So resist the urge to jump to conclusions and just relax and tune in, listen, and focus on hearing them out completely. This is going to make them feel heard and relaxed and help them to want to hear what you have to say. And let me give you one more thing on listening that will take it to the next level. Listen and reflect. Don't just say, I understand in response to someone. Reflection means take what they said and put it in your own words and say it back to them. When you do this, the other person knows that you understood what they said. There's no doubt, and they feel understood. And it's something about this that removes the barriers that most people enter into conversations with. They feel like you get them, that you understand them. And that's a good feeling for anyone. Another aspect of social intelligence is knowing how to manage the image that you're portraying to others. Are you being authentic? People can see through a lack of authenticity quicker than anything else. What about just the way you present yourself physically? Do you look interested in what the person is saying? Does your body language show that the person you're speaking with matters to you? Is your face showing boredom? What image are you physically portraying to others in your conversations? And physically lean in to the conversation. Give eye contact. I promise it will make a huge difference. Another aspect of social intelligence that's very important is to stay curious. Before giving them advice or a piece of your mind, so to speak, just stay curious and explore more about the topic that the other person has presented. And when you get interested in them and what they're doing and what they're experiencing, they'll walk away from that conversation feeling that warm and fuzzy feeling that we all love. And just like the woman at the well, they'll walk away feeling connected and energized by your conversation and even telling others about what you've done for them. And so I strongly encourage you, just stay curious when you're talking to people. And my final thought on social intelligence is simply to be a student of your social situations. Think back about tough or important conversations you've had earlier in the day. It helps to do it in the same day while it's still fresh on your mind, and think of ways that you could have had greater interactions with those individuals. Be sure to learn from what you socially did well, but also learn from what you could have improved on. And if you haven't had a chance to listen to my last 2 sessions on emotional intelligence, I encourage you, go back and watch those as well. I hope you have a great day. God bless.